Hello world, it's Berto5, Qapla. This is my top 5 nitpicks for Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 10, The Last Generation. It was really hard narrowing down to just 5 nitpicks in what was truly an epic episode. Love or hate the series, this was a big one. It will be hard to forget and will likely be used in finale comparisons for years to come. Once again, let's call for spoiler alerts and get started with nitpick number 1. At the end of the last episode, the Enterprise D was on its way to Earth, presumably at maximum warp. They were never shown arriving at Earth, but at the start of this episode, Data detected a Borg signal from Jupiter, so Picard orders they head there instead, also at max warp. Warp is used to get from system to system. Changing destination from Earth to Jupiter hardly seems like it requires a stop and a new destination set, but that isn't my issue. My problem isn't even that they use their eyes to find the cube rather than vastly superior sensors. My nitpick is, how the heck does the largest Borg cube ever shown make it into Jupiter's great red spot to begin with? How long was it there? Who built the transwarp conduit? We know there are Starfleet outposts and Earth colonies all across the moons of Jupiter. No way the Borg casually building a conduit or hiding a ship larger than most of Jupiter's moons went unnoticed. In the end, it's just one of many mysteries that will never be answered. Number 2. On the Titan, after Seven, Raffi, and a ragtag group of older Starfleet officers retake the bridge with the power of plot armor, they see a long-range sensor sweep and a Starfleet ship by Jupiter.
There's a Federation ship near a Borg cube. Galaxy class, registry number NCC 1701D.
Raffi is only able to identify it by registry number for some reason, and she tells Seven it's the NCC 1701D, as if she has no idea what that ship is. Seven is the one who recognizes it as the Enterprise D and realizes it must be Picard, and he's engaged the Borg. Why wouldn't Raffi immediately know the 1701D is the Enterprise? Even if 1701 wasn't already famous as the registry number for all other Enterprises, Raffi and Picard were best friends in Season 1. They worked together for over a decade. Even if Raffi didn't work on the Enterprise E, she surely heard plenty of stories from the man she affectionately called JL to know what 1701D stood for. I know the writers weren't writing this season assuming viewers watched the prior 2 seasons, as they wisely knew many had not. But they should still respect their own lore, whether Season 1 was a hit or not. And we know it was not. Number 3. Everyone has been comparing the Enterprise D entering the Borg cube, flying into what seems to be an exhaust vent, maneuvering like the Millennium Falcon to destroy the second Death Star for good reason. It was almost a shot-for-shot remake. And regardless of how absurd it is to think the Enterprise D was capable of maneuvering in this way, seeing it on screen in HD is amazing. The ship never looked better. I don't even care why the Borg Queen left the shields down or didn't attempt to shoot at the Enterprise when it could easily have been kept away. But I do have to wonder, when Data somehow pilots the D into the Queen's chamber and flies directly above Picard and Jack and beams them up before leaving. How was there air in that chamber? The Enterprise came in from the vacuum of space. If there had been any force fields in place, they would have had to have been destroyed to get inside. The cube itself was self-destructing from the inside. They all should have been blown into space. I guess the assumption was, if you've forgiven so much that you can accept this, you can forgive a little more. Number 4. The destruction of the Borg cube, which we got to see in all its glory. Conveniently, the cube is now nowhere near Jupiter, and I suspect most people don't care. We don't want to see the explosion obscured by planetary gases, after all. The problem is, though, destroying the Borg cube was like killing the main vampire in a fantasy novel. All of a sudden, like magic, everyone who had become Borg instantly returned to normal with no apparent physical repercussions at all. They don't even need a hypospray to get rid of the gray Borgified tissue. It just instantly converts back to perfect human or alien skin. While I admit this isn't the first time in Trek people seem easily cured from what appeared to be life-debilitating, life-altering injuries, I do think it's the biggest scale we've ever seen where space magic is used to bring everyone back. I'm left wondering, what were the lasting repercussions of all this? How many died? How badly damaged was space dock? Did any cities on Earth get hit? For all the time they leave for follow-up, we get nothing to mark this as the somber event it must have been. Instead, we get a joke about vacationing in Orlando. And finally, number 5. We got back the Enterprise D. We heard about Worf presumably destroying the Enterprise E. We see the Enterprise F, which we guess went on to be decommissioned as planned. There was talk amongst the fans if we would see the Enterprise G. I personally had hoped we wouldn't. I thought it would be great to give it some time so that potentially a new team could bring back the Enterprise G with a new crew in some future iteration of Trek. I had hoped Terry Matalas would have been satisfied with giving us a new hero ship in that of the USS Titan A. For all my criticisms of the show, the addition of the Titan A and Captain Shaw to the Trek universe was welcomed in my book. It was therefore unfortunate to see this scene, and I bite my lip to not rant on the nonsense of Jack Crusher getting special treatment to be posted to a ship after just 1 year in the Academy. The Titan being rechristened as the Enterprise G is a disservice to both the legacy of the Titan and the Enterprise. The Titan has a history even before Riker took command. It no doubt served Riker and Captain Shaw well. Then, in the Federation's darkest hour, it was one of only 2 ships, 3 if you count the Excelsior, which was destroyed, to stand against the Borg fleet. It absolutely deserved to be remembered as the USS Titan. The Enterprise have had their own history as Federation flagships. While there is no rule, of course, that the Enterprise must be the newest and most powerful ship in the fleet, it seems the Enterprise had always been a cutting-edge ship, until now. Seven has no ties to the Enterprise. Making her captain of the G makes little sense. The Titan A could have been renamed Voyager B. At least that would have made some sense for Seven. Although I did not agree with Dave Cullen's excessive praise for this season, I do think his idea of ending with the Enterprise D being refit into the 3 nacelle Galaxy X variant first seen in the Future of All Good Things, and Riker being offered the captain's chair, would have been the most fitting end for the fans and the beloved ship. Far better than what we got. 5 nitpicks hardly do justice to this episode and a season of forgotten plot points. I intend to do another video discussing my problems with the series as a whole. Until then, thank you all for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button to train the algorithm. I plan on other Trek videos before Strange New World. Season 2 hits in June. Qapla All, Bird out.